Things you didn't know about Game of Thrones. Number 15. Adult movie stars have joined the cast. For season 4 of Game of Thrones, the show's producers cast a number of porn actresses including Jessica Jensen and Samantha Bentley, winner of the Adult Video News Award for Best Group Sex Scene, who both played prostitutes on the show. Australian amateur porn actress Erin Walker was also cast as one of the loathsome Craster's many wives, and professed herself really excited about the role. Number 14. Yes, the Mountain really could do that to Oberyn's head. According to Time magazine, if the fight between the Mountain and the Viper were to play out in real life, chances are, the Mountain really would be strong enough to crush his opponent's head. Basing their assertions on a Slate investigation into a similar scene from Star Trek Into Darkness, Time concluded that, if someone were to exert 520 pounds of force onto a human skull, they would definitely cause it to implode. Icelandic strongman who plays the Mountain, is the third strongest man in the world, and would most likely be capable of exerting this kind of pressure. Number 13. You too can own a dire wolf. Game of Thrones fans craving their very own ghost, Nymeria or Grey Worm in luck. The dire wolf project undertaken by the American Alsatian Breeders Association, has succeeded in breeding a number of large, wolf-like, 130-pound American Alsatians that they've dubbed dire wolves. The puppies come with a $3,000 price tag, so you may still be better off putting your spaniel on stilts and training it to look a bit tougher. It's also worth noting that the true dire wolf, Canis dirus, died out about 10,000 years ago. The American Alsatian may look a bit like its wolfy namesake, but there's no significant genetic link between the two. Meanwhile, the show itself represents the Stark wolves by using northern Inuit dogs, a crossbreed created in the late 80s that closely resembles the modern gray wolf. Number 12. Maduna once stole the Khaleesi's real costume. In March 2014, Maduna decided to dress as Daenerys for Purim, a holiday dubbed the Jewish Halloween, during which observants traditionally masquerade in costume. Being Maduna, she contacted the show's producers to see if she could borrow the actual Khaleesi costume, rather than having to go to all the trouble of making her own. According to Emilia Clarke, speaking to Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, the producers were more than happy to oblige. Number 11. The Unsullied costumes had to be changed. To avoid comparisons with the First World War, the Unsullied costumes were the hardest to make. They were very specific in the book about having a spike on top of the helmet, but it looked too German First World War, so we had to change it, Game of Thrones costume director Michelle Clapton told The Telegraph in 2016. With a book, people have built up an image of how they think characters should look, and then I come along and don't make it like it is in their heads. Number 10. The actors do sometimes wear real fur on the show. Certain actors won't wear fur, and we'll respect that, and we'll always try to make it in fake fur instead, but when you're depicting the things that we are a lot of the time, it doesn't work, costume director Michelle Clapton previously explained. The animal rights group PETA has also objected to the use of fur on Game of Thrones, but it's important to point out that no new pieces are commissioned. Instead, all the animal furs worn are always sourced from vintage markets, and reworked into the medieval style costumes required. Number 9. Sansa adopted Sunny. Sansa Stark's direwolf lady was killed early in season 1, meaning the dog who played her, Sunny, was out of a job. So Sophie Turner, the actress who portrays Sansa, adopted her. Number 8. You can take a Game of Thrones class at Harvard. The class digs into the real medieval history that George R.R. Martin and the show's creators draw on for inspiration for various events, elements and people along the way. Number 7. Dragons on the show was inspired by geese and cat behavior. In a 2013 interview with Wired, effects supervisor Sven Martin said the show turned to big goose animals and studied how they moved their wings when they were not flying. They also looked at the movements of bats flying and instructed Emilia Clarke to stroke her dragon stand-in a little bit like a cat. Number 6. George R.R. Martin has one of the dragon eggs. In 2011, Designer Gemma Jackson gave the egg prop to G.R.R. Martin as a wedding gift when he married longtime love Paris McBride. According to Emilia Clarke in a 2015 interview with Harper's Bazaar, Jay-Z bought one of the original eggs as a gift for Beyoncé. Number 5. The Lana Mormont Face. The Lana Mormont Face that went viral after Battle of the Bastards, Season 6, Episode 9, was shot close to 60 times. Director Miguel Sapochnik told The Wrap that actress Bella Ramsey had no idea when a camera was on her or another cast member and stayed in character and in the scene throughout. Number 4. The most viewed episode, to date. The Season 6 finale, The Winds of Winter. Some 8.9 million viewers tuned in to watch Arias let Walder Frey's thrown like butter in June 2016. This is the same episode with the incredible 9-minute-long scene featuring the Wildfire Massacre and Game of Thrones composer Raymond Djawadi's Light of the Seven. The second most viewed is Mother's Mercy, the Season 5 finale, with 8.11 million viewers. Fun fact, The Winds of Winter is also the longest episode to date at 69 minutes. Number 3. Master Emin was blind on, and off-screen. Peter Vaughan was partially blind when he was cast as the blind elder Master Emin of the Night's Watch. Less than 2 years after his character died from old age on the show, Vaughan passed away in December 2016 at the age of 93. His agent confirmed to The Telegraph that he died peacefully with his family around him. Number 2. Ramsay Bolton as Jon Snow. Iwan Rheon, the actor who played the much-loathed Ramsay Bolton, had previously been up for a different role before he got that part, Jon Snow. Rheon has said it was down to him and Kit Harington for the part before the showrunners decided on Harington. Number 1. Jon Snow and Arya fall in love. George R.R. Martin originally planned to have Jon Snow and Arya fall in love. In 2015, some of Martin's original plans for the series, outlined in a 1993 letter to his publisher, were revealed. Anyone who watches the show will likely be feeling quite worried by his original intended romance between Jon Snow and Arya Stark, given both the age difference between the actors playing the characters on the show, and the fact that the pair were raised as brother and sister. Martin originally intended for the half-siblings to fall for each other and be tormented by their incestuous passion, due to Jon's vows of celibacy to the Night's Watch before the secret of his true parentage would finally be revealed in the last book, allowing the lovelorn pair to be together at last. Subscribe for more.